Welcome back, you lovely lot, to Cowland on Cars, the YouTube channel that brings the pages of Facebook Marketplace to life. And it's a beautiful sunny day. I'm at Donington Park and I'm here with the Mazda. Now, you may know if you're a regular subscriber, and if you're not, please consider clicking that button because it really helps me out. This belongs to my number one daughter, numerically. Amber, this is her car, 17-year-old, driving around in this, the Jammy Devil. If you watch the other two videos, and this will be part of that playlist, you'll understand how she's got into it at such a tender age. Now, we've done a few jobs for this car already. It's quite a decent one. I got it from Manor Park Classics. It wasn't expensive. It was 1,800 quid. We've tidied up the paintwork a little bit. There's still more to do. We've tidied up the interior a little bit, but today is the day I really wanted to come, the day when we sort out the wheels and tyres. Now, when I bought this car, I put it through my mate Steve's MOT place and I said, be as hard as you can and fail it on anything you can, because my number one daughter, numerically, is in it. I want it to be as safe as possible. Now, one of the things that passed, unbelievably, with advisories, was the tyres that the car came on at the auction. Now, this is an ancient set of well-known brand tyres, and it does beg the question, how safe is a car that can pass an MOT with aged tyres on? The answer probably is not all that safe. So today is all about uprating the tyres, and to do that, I'm also going to change the wheel size, because the thing about the factory 16s is not that many great tyres at sensible prices are available. If you go up 1 inch to a 17, which was a factory size, and do check with your insurer that that's okay, which we have done, and because it is a factory size, they're cool with it. That just opens up a world of possibilities. So we're going to do a much better wheel and a much better tyre, which I think will make her a much better driver and hopefully make the car a lot safer, particularly in the wet. So stay tuned, because I'm going to see some very talented people today and we're going to fit some lovely stuff, but starting with a very well-known name in the wheel business. And that name is Revolution Wheels, which, if you're from Nottingham, is just up the road. Full of wonderful things and run by my very good friend and all-round legend, Warren.
Revolution formed in 1967, but it's common knowledge that it was trading before then. Originally in the late 60s, had its first wheel was the four-spoke race wheel, supplied on many Formula cars. Then the 1970s went, Formula 2, Formula 3, historic, Can-Am, to name but a few. And then late 70s, it took a turning more into rally. And then throughout rally, went through a decade of supplying GM, Ford, Suzuki, Hyundai with various different rally wheels. Then through the 80s, we had more of a retro thing with the bigger RFX wheels, started going out into a road wheel Formula, and then back in rally in the 90s, and then onwards and onwards and onwards to today. So where are we today? We still make a 6x10 four-spoke mini wheel. But we now make a 19 by 10.5 flow-formed race wheel. So now the business is very much historic racing, old cars, but they're getting, various classics, everything Subarus, road cars, race cars, rally cars, quads that are getting big in rally. We do a wheel for those. And it's a question of continuing to move forward. We will still make you a wheel tailor-made to you. So we'll take our wheel, find out what your requirements are, draw it, program it, check it, make it and supply it. So, it's everything else that no one wants to do is what we're about. Amber's using our 7.5 17 CR10 flowform wheel. So it's a very light wheel. The offset range on that is like 0 to 45 mil. So we've looked at her car, we've looked at what's going to fill that arch, make it look, a bit sexy. Then our man has drawn PCD, correct offset, only direct bore, no spigot rings, no kits, no adapters, just the wheel. So he's programmed that, drawn it. He's then imported that into SolidWorks. That's written the program for him. We've made one, we've proofed it, and then we've made the rest. So it's tailor-made for Amber's requirements. And that's exactly what she's getting, a tailor-made set of wheels. A lighter wheel means you brake easier, you accelerate quicker, there's less wear on your tyres. The flow forming process effectively rolls like you would with a rolling pin, the material over a tool. So you're able to run a thickness of anything between sort of 2.2 and 2.3 millimeters, whereas if it was cast, you'd need 4 to 4.5 mil. So really it's half the thickness, and it's still stronger with half the thickness.
So after a very joyous morning spent with Warren getting the wheels sorted, and thank you so much for that, mate, he very kindly gifted them to the project on the understanding that we give him some feedback because he's not sure about a couple of caliper clearances, and then it's on to get them fitted at my usual port of call, Big Mark and his brother Rob at Allumy Motorsport. He even unloads it for you as well. Even though we have just seen these wheels being made and put into the box, it's always safer to transport them that way. You can have an unboxing video as well, just for fun. Well, Mark's not seen them yet, has he? We want to give him the joy of opening a brand new wheel box. It's always magical, isn't it? Look at the quality of the machining on that. A motorsport quality wheel needs a motorsport quality tyre fitter, and that is very much Mark's bag. He does an awful lot of race cars for very important and clever people, so I think he'll be all right with our little Mazda. Short valve or long valve? I think for this one we'll go for a shorter valve. Just looks better and it's less weight. And that brings us neatly to tyres. Now, I was delighted to become an ambassador for Envoy Tyres, and they very kindly sent a set of these Envoy Motiva UHPs. These are the range toppers. They're A, wet weather rated and A, noise rated, so she'll be quiet, and when it pours down, she's going to have plenty of grip. You just can't get higher than an A rating. Red dots or yellow dots, always put the red dot to the valve. We know that one. The tiniest amount of soap. That's why I love working with Mark. Never uses more than he needs to. Keeps it clean and neat. Size-wise, we've gone for a 215 45 17, and the nice thing about that is not only is it a very square fit with a nice square shoulder on the wheel, but it's probably the widest section we can get on a standard fit. So she's going to have as much grip as she can with that A wet weather rating, and I'm going to feel like a proud and responsible father. A quick inflate to blow them on once they're on there with those stubby little valves. They do look cool, those, don't they? I think we made the right choice there. But this is what I like about the Motiva. It's got a bit of a shoulder. So as she's learning to park on her very expensive wheels, hopefully that will get her out of jail once or twice. We've all been there, haven't we? So onto the dynamic balancer, where Mark uses freaking laser beams and not an inconsiderable amount of skill to get them perfectly balanced. We want to see noughts across the board. And this is the man that can always get it first time. Wheels and tyres spin up very nicely. Doesn't need a huge amount of weight actually either, which is always the sign of a very good wheel and tyre. There you go, 0. Perfect. Even though this is technically a competition wheel, Warren can actually offer this with a cap option. And obviously because it's a road car and we want to fly the flag for Revolution because he's a mate, let's get that cap on. And of course, Mark being Mark, perfectly aligns it with the valve because he's sad and nerdy, just like me. And there we have the finished article. You might have noticed in the before shot, my daughter doesn't seem to be massively keen on cleaning her wheels. So I do feel that black wheels are the perfect choice. They're going to hide the brake dust. They're a lot lighter than even the standard 16s. And they are going to give us a lot more caliper clearance once we work out where that needs to be. Right onto the ramp to get them fitted. This workshop is always so clean and tidy, and the guys always do such a good job. It's not an ad, by the way. They always bill me. I'm always happy to pay. Let's have a look how old those original tyres were. They've been on a while. Place your bets now. A quick look at the date code, the 5th month of 2017, so an 8-year-old tyre. No wonder they're ready to come off. And come off they do. Have a quick look underneath to see that actually it's not as bad as many of the MX5s I've bought. And although we will be changing the brakes probably as the next job, we'll give them a quick clean up anyway. And the quick and simple version of that is to de-rust and brush off the disc faces with plenty of brake cleaner. And then also, of course, you want to go around each of the threads with plenty of grease to make sure that they're perfect, or as perfect as they can be, before we put the new Envoys on. And look at those grooves. I really like the idea of the Envoys. They're trying to make really high performance tyres available in the mid-market price point, so everyone can afford to buy them. You'll always get your top end tyres, you'll always get your range toppers, but I really think for a car like this, for drivers on a budget, it really is the perfect choice. After all, it doesn't really matter how much you spend. You cannot get higher than an A rating. That's all that matters to me as a dad. The wheels look good. The tyres look good. I think she's going to be absolutely made up when she sees the final result. And the car is going to be much safer and I think much nicer to drive. Mark doing his usual level of housekeeping there. Doesn't that look much better? So out into the sunshine for a final look. They always say that wheels and tyres define the car, and I think this really is proof of that. What a difference. So there you go. I think you'll agree that looks a lot better. We've definitely got some work to do. Tiny bit of caliper clearancing to sort out. And now that tiny difference in ride height front to rear from putting the new springs on from the MOT is hugely exacerbated. But I'm about to go on holiday. So the lovely lads here are going to do some alignment, do some work, and see if we can do anything to sit that suspension down. If not, the insurance company very kindly said that we can put some springs to return it to standard ride height. Got to keep it insurance friendly. But I hope you've enjoyed that. A bit of a journey. We've still got some work to do, but we've got some decent tyres, we've got some wonderful wheels, and I think that's made the car look more cool. Definitely safer now, which is the main thing. I think we'll have one happy Amber. Right, I'll see you next time. Do like and subscribe, ring that bell, and thank you for watching.